Wait, this is insane. A mother, to meet her lover, allowed her 6-year-old daughter to die on a busy road. But hold on, see how this father turns the tables and utterly destroys both of them. Spoiler alert, karma hits hard in the end, you absolutely can't miss it. After rushing to the hospital, Dr. Miller led me directly to the morgue, perhaps fearing I'd rush and have an accident on the way. The situation described over the phone was unclear, but it wasn't until he pointed to a pile of intertwined red, white, and yellow flesh, telling me it was my daughter. Impossible. I stated with absolute certainty. Today Lily had gone to Adventureland Park with her mother. She always clung to her mother, and was well behaved and obedient. There was no way she would have run off alone. He didn't argue, simply handing me 2 items. These belong to your daughter, don't they? A familiar pink kid's smartwatch. When I turned it on, the screensaver, a photo of our family of 3, instantly struck my heart. I snatched the items from Dr. Miller's hand and stared intensely at the screen, hoping I was mistaken. This was the screensaver my daughter had playfully begged me to set for her, clutching my arm, the only photo of our family of 3 together. All hope shattered, I vaguely recall how I even made it to my daughter's side. I tremblingly gripped my daughter's bruised little hand. Her wrist was crushed, held together only by a thin layer of skin, so fragile it could break with a touch. The little pigtails it braided for her this morning were now pressed into flattened, shattered flesh. Tears streamed uncontrollably. My Lily, how much pain she must have been in. Lily, Lily, Daddy's here. Daddy's here, Lily. Didn't you ask Daddy to bring you a cake this morning? Daddy will take you to eat it now, okay? Daddy will take you now. Just stand up, Lily. Lily? Unable to hold back any longer, I gripped my daughter's hand tightly and let out a broken scream. Dr. Miller scoffed, parents who only care about their own pleasure. Sending such a young child to run an errand to buy condoms for you, what good is regret now that something has happened? Grandview Avenue has heavy traffic. How could you let her go out and cross the road alone? Such a small body crushed directly under a truck's wheels. How old was she? Every word he spoke felt like a sharp knife tearing at my heart. I wished it had been me who died. My Lily was only 6 years old. How could she be lying here? Tears poured out, a torrent of overwhelming grief, and the suppressed screams in my throat became a prison of remorse. Breaking through all of this was a message that popped up on Lily's smartwatch. One glance, and my blood ran cold. Why isn't that brat back yet? Tyler's waiting for them. If she dilly-dallies any longer, she'll spend the night standing on the balcony. The sender was my wife, Victoria. Only then did I belatedly and with difficulty spread open my numb palm. Inside was the blood-stained note Dr. Miller had given me along with the watch. On it, in familiar handwriting, were the words, cigarettes, tissues, Trojan. The absurd truth laid bare before me. I couldn't stop myself from dry heaving. I frantically called her, and finally, on the 32nd attempt, she picked up. Before I could even speak, she launched into a furious tirade. Ethan, someone died at home, and you're calling like this. You don't find it annoying, but I find you're wasting my time. I roared back at her, almost screaming. Why did you let our daughter go out alone? Why? Do you know Lily on the other end? I heard a man's flirtatious words, accompanied by a soft gasp from Victoria. The call was abruptly cut off. I called again, but it showed her phone was off. My daughter lay in a cold morgue. Yet she was flirting with another man. How could she be fit to be a mother? I rushed into the rain like a madman, arriving at Tyler's doorstep just as I saw him toss an empty condom box at my feet. My wife, wrapped only in a bathrobe, came up from behind him the moment our eyes met. I clearly saw the panic in her eyes. I picked up the condom box from the ground and slowly clenched it in my hand. The plastic box twisted and deformed. I kicked away Tyler, who was blocking my path and provoking me. I strode quickly to my wife, gripped her neck tightly, and forced out a few words through clenched teeth. Did you enjoy sleeping with him? Our daughter died such a horrible death, yet you're in bed with him. Do you have any damn heart left? She desperately clawed at my hand. Her pupils sharply contracted, her eyes filled with shock. Impossible! You're trying to trick me! The veins on my hand bulged as I tightened my grip, looking at the face that once captivated me, now filled only with hatred. Victoria, you deserve to die. My eyes bloodshot, I forcibly pulled her hair, dragging her downstairs. Looking at the ceaseless flow of vehicles on the road, I dragged her like a madman, trying to rush into the traffic, muttering repeatedly, Lily is dead, why are we still alive? Lily will be scared alone, we should go be with our daughter, we should go be with our daughter. Tyler, who was following behind, grabbed a vase and smashed it against me. Blood trickled down my forehead. Victoria seized the opportunity to break free and slapped me hard. Ethan, what the hell are you doing? Tyler helped Victoria, who was disheveled, and passers-by gradually gathered. Taking photos, Victoria, who was most concerned with appearances, pulled Tyler. Attempting to leave, I fell to the ground, gripping Victoria's foot tightly. Don't go. Victoria, you killed Lily. We're going down to join her. Victoria kicked me hard. Seeing I wouldn't let go, she bent down, her long, slender nails digging into my wrist, drawing blood. Her tone was contemptuous. Don't use Lily as an excuse if you want to drag me to my death. Even if she's really dead, I wouldn't bat an eye. Full of lies, conniving together. Your daughter is indeed as depraved and disgusting as you are. And don't forget, you forced me to have her in the first place. Her death serves her right. Also, if you want to die, get lost. Don't drag me into your madness. Get off me. I clung to her ankle, letting her dig at my wrist until it was bloody. My heart, too, was pierced 1,000 times. All the anger, injustice, and sorrow erupted into screams. Why? Why was Lily dead? Why could Victoria be so indifferent and hateful towards Lily? Why did I agree to let her take Lily out? Why didn't I see through her sooner and take Lily away? Seeing me acting like a madman, a large crowd gathered. Some whispered it looked like a public confrontation over an affair. Victoria gritted her teeth and yelled, "Help me! This man is a pervert. He's molesting me." Tyler, standing by, righteously chimed in, rushing forward and stomping on my wrist. "I'll beat men like you to death. See if you dare do this again." One person led the charge, and the others swarmed me. I curled into a ball. And during the punches and kicks, just a few steps away, my daughter was crushed by a truck. The road, washed clean by the rain, looked as if nothing had happened, yet I could still smell a heavy scent of blood, heavy, silent, full of despair. At that time, was my Lily also in such pain and despair, just like her daddy? The commotion was too great, and someone called the police, because Tyler, whom I had kicked, insisted. I was held in detention for 5 days. When I was released and went to the hospital to pick up Lily, I discovered that Victoria and Tyler had already taken her. I frantically called Victoria. The call connected, but it was Tyler's voice. "If you want your daughter's ashes, come to my house now. Don't be late." The call ended. I forcibly cut the hour-long drive in half. "Where's my daughter?" I demanded, staring intently at Tyler. Tyler stepped back a few paces and took an urn from the cabinet beneath the window. The pink urn was covered with Barbie dolls. Whenever Victoria came home, Lily would always swap her beloved Bluey for Victoria's favorite Barbie dolls, saying Mommy likes them. Suppressing the pang of sorrow in my heart, I was about to go to it when he directly raised the urn high, threatening me. "Don't move, or I'll throw this urn out the window and scatter its contents." No! I stopped in my tracks, my eyes red. "Please don't. I'll do anything you want. Just don't touch her." Tyler wore a smug expression, lifting his chin at me. "Weren't you quite arrogant when you kicked me earlier? Ethan, you humiliated me in front of Victoria. Now, I want you to get on your knees, slap yourself, and apologize to me." At that moment, I wanted nothing more than to lunge forward and tear his face apart, but looking at the urn, my Lily was inside, waiting for me to take her home. I knelt before him and quickly slapped myself twice. "I'm sorry, I was wrong. Please give Lily back to me." Tyler hadn't expected to get such a hold over me so easily. After a glance out the window, he smiled at me. "Ethan, you really are like a dog. But it's not enough." He stepped forward with the urn, kicked me in the chest, and seeing me fall, he laughed. "Here, take this trash back." Before I could react, he let go. With a thud, the urn bounced, and the powder inside spilled out. No! My eyes blazed with fury, and I lunged forward, but then I froze. The spilled substance was white and pure. It wasn't ashes. "Where's Lily? Where's Lily?" I lunged and grabbed his collar, demanding. Tyler just stared at me, laughing. When he had laughed enough, he enunciated each word clearly. "Your daughter's ashes were flushed down the toilet the day I got them back. Ethan, this is what happens when you cross me." My mind exploded. My Lily, gone. The last thread of my sanity snapped. I squeezed his neck tightly. "I'll kill you." Victoria opened the door and burst in, shouting, "Ethan, what kind of madness are you up to now? Let go." At that moment, all I could think about was making Tyler pay with his life. I couldn't hear a single word. Victoria immediately pulled a stun gun from her pocket and pressed it against my neck. Instantly, my limbs went numb, and I lost all strength, collapsing to the ground. Victoria rushed over anxiously to help Tyler, checking him over with concern for any injuries, and as Tyler stood up, he flashed a smug smile at me, deliberately leaning in to whisper in my ear, "Victoria will always choose me. You'll never win against me." My eyes fixated on him. I gritted my teeth. "Victoria." He replaced Lily's ashes and flushed them down the toilet. Victoria froze for a moment, her gaze falling to the flower on the floor, her expression instantly hardening. At that moment, Tyler clutched his head and cried out in pain, "Victoria, my head is starting to hurt again." "Don't worry, Tyler, he'll take you to the hospital right away." Victoria didn't hesitate, quickly helping him walk out. "Victoria, you indulged him, leading to Lily's death. And now he's flushed Lily's ashes down the drain, and you're still protecting him?" Ethan, when a life ends, it's over. While we certainly made mistakes in Lily's death, were you and Lily faultless? I looked at her in astonishment. She continued, if you hadn't indulged Lily in clinging to me, how could I have given in and agreed to take her out, unable to bear the pestering? So, Ethan, let's both let go. It's just Lily being gone. We can have more children later. In that moment, I realized the cold-blooded, selfish heart hidden beneath her beautiful facade. Lily was her own flesh and blood, not an object. Lily's body was barely cold. How could she so coldly speak of having another child? The heart that once beat for Victoria had completely grown cold. Let's get a divorce. Victoria paused. She didn't even look at me, simply throwing out, Ethan, don't say things in anger. Without giving me a chance to speak, she and Tyler completely disappeared from my sight. The scattered flour on the floor and my fallen figure made me feel like a joke. I returned home in a daze, knowing my Lily could only be found here. At home. In the living room, the bluey cake had melted into a blob, emitting a sour smell. The streamers stuck to the wall read, Happy Birthday, Lily, and the partially taped Happy Birthday of colorful balloons. Countless times on Lily's birthday, I would present the cake to her and ask, what did my Lily wish for? I want Mommy to celebrate my birthday with Daddy and me. Her voice still echoed, but she was gone. Lily, my Lily. I habitually looked towards the photos on the cabinet, but it was empty. Where are the photos? Where are Lily's photos? The sound of shattering glass came from Lily's bedroom. I pushed the door open. The bluey doll I had once given Lily was torn to shreds, its stuffing scattered in clumps on the floor. The cabinets full of handmade toys that Lily and I had made together were now a scattered wreck. The photo collage hanging on the wall had also been reduced to ashes in a metal container. Tyler tilted his head, giving an innocent smile. Ethan, you're too late, unfortunately. There's nothing left for you. My sanity snapped. I punched Tyler in the face. You son of a bitch. Who told you to touch them? I told him to touch them. I find it disgusting to keep a dead person's belongings for even one more day. Victoria stepped forward, shielding Tyler, looking at me with utter disappointment. Ethan, how can you hit someone over a dead person's belongings now? Apologize to Tyler immediately. Dead person's belongings? My eyes red. I shouted, that's Lily, my daughter Lily. Get out! Get out! I grabbed a mop from the floor and chased them out, locked the door, then slowly and with difficulty moved back into Lily's room, lying on the crumpled pink bed. Lily's scent still lingered. I curled my body, tears slowly soaking the pillow. In a daze, I thought I saw Lily. Daddy, don't cry. Lily isn't hurting. Yes, I'm sorry, Lily. Daddy didn't take good care of you. Daddy isn't a good daddy. Lily hugged me. Daddy is the best daddy in the world. In my next life, Lily still wants you to be my daddy. But can we have a different mommy? Okay, the moment I agreed, Lily's figure gradually faded in my arms. Lily? Lily! I opened my eyes, realizing it had only been a dream. I gathered the scattered remnants on the floor and mended the broken bluey doll. I picked up my phone and opened the chat with Victoria. I'll have my lawyer draft the divorce papers. We're getting divorced. Almost the instant I sent the message, Victoria called, as soon as I answered. Victoria's angry accusations began. How dare a useless person like you divorce me? Ethan, if you beg me, and I'm in a good mood, I might let you stay by my side as a loyal dog. I scoffed. If Tyler wants to be your dog, I'll let him. Don't you like him? I'll step aside for him. I wish you both 100 years of happiness. After a moment of silence, Victoria suddenly burst into laughter. I knew why you wanted a divorce. You're trying to play hard to get, but unfortunately, I saw right through it. However, since you've been a very pleasing dog to me, I'll forgive you this time. Next time, don't say I didn't give you a chance. I gave a bitter smile. How could I not be pleasing to her? At 18, during the hotel fire at the graduation party, I carried her out from the 19th floor, inhaling thick smoke myself and spending a month in the hospital. At 25, she was kidnapped and threatened with death by a rival. I lunged forward and ended up being hit on the head with a baseball bat, spending 5 days in the ICU before I barely survived, and from 25 to 31. Every day she made him act like a dog on a leash for her amusement, but now I was tired. I looked at her. No need, Victoria. We've tormented each other for so long. It's time to let go. Victoria became hysterical. Who gave you the nerve? Ethan, you're a useless nobody. If it weren't for my company, you'd be nothing. Without me, you'll be sleeping on the streets. As long as I can leave you, I'll gladly sleep on the streets. Fine, Ethan. Don't you dare regret this. The call ended. I gave a self-deprecating smile. Who would have thought that 6 years ago I felt fortunate to marry her, but 6 years later, I felt satisfied to leave her. Fortunately, Victoria didn't want to wait long either. Less than 10 minutes later, she asked me to meet her to get a divorce at City Hall. We successfully obtained the divorce certificate. Outside City Hall, Victoria, her face grim, grabbed me. Ethan, this time you won't get a chance to regret it. Soon, you'll be marrying Tyler. Oh, congratulations. I couldn't be bothered to argue with her. Just as I was about to leave, she stopped me again. She stared intently at me, saying each word slowly. Ethan, didn't you hear me? I'm marrying Tyler. I frowned. Didn't I already say congratulations? Her eyes widened, and she tightened her grip on my arm. Impossible. How can you have no reaction at all? I pushed her away. Victoria, I don't love you anymore. How could that be? You chased me for 10 years like a doormat. How can you just stop loving me like that? A Mercedes-Benz sedan pulled up beside us. The window rolled down, revealing a woman's face. She greeted me. Senior, get in. Victoria reacted violently, slapping me directly. I knew there was a reason you, this doormat, suddenly wanted a divorce. So you found someone new to exploit outside. How could you do this to me? I grabbed her hand as she tried to slap me again. Victoria, I warned, do I really need to bring up what you and Tyler have been doing? Sophia and I are not as depraved and despicable as you two. I pushed her away and got directly into the car. Victoria gritted her teeth in hatred. Ethan, you will regret this. I pressed my lips together. Who would regret it remained to be seen. Sophia and I were students of the same advisor at Pacific Crest Institute of Design. I was several years ahead of her. She was the CEO of a leading jewelry design company in the country, and a rival of Victoria for years. My designs had brought Victoria Design House great renown, constantly eclipsing Lumiere jewels. Because of this, Sophia had consistently tried to poach me in private, but after my repeated refusals, she gradually gave up. Now, I had contacted Sophia with the intention of working together to reclaim everything I had once given to Victoria. I hadn't expected Sophia to trust me so completely. She directly appointed me as design director, leading a team to prepare jewelry designs for an international competition. After several days and nights of sleepless work, the final draft was completed. The finished piece, Break Free, successfully garnered a series of international awards. I stood on stage with Sophia. During the introduction, I said, humans are born trapped in cages. Some are designed by others, some are self-imposed prisons, and I hope everyone can break free from their cages, not be swayed by others, step out, stand in the sunlight, and truly love themselves, and cherish those who love them. In the audience, Victoria stared intently at me, and Tyler's gaze was sinister. However, Victoria Design House, which had entered the competition with Tyler's designs, was exposed for plagiarizing multiple design graduation projects, leading to Victoria Design House being blacklisted by the entire jewelry industry, facing exorbitant penalties for breach of contract. Victoria Design House was on the verge of collapse at the celebration banquet. Sophia smiled as she told me about Victoria Design House's plight, bursting into laughter. Victoria is truly ridiculous. She's penny wise and pound foolish. If it weren't for your designs back then, how could Victoria, with just a small studio, have had the right to climb over Lumiere jewels and even establish Victoria Design House? Impossible. You're lying to me. Victoria suddenly burst into the private room, gripping my collar tightly. You're clearly a useless person I had to support. How could you possibly have design skills? Tell me, did you steal Tyler's designs and then frame him? Nonsense. Sophia stood up abruptly. Victoria, do you really think Tyler has that kind of talent? He's trash who was exposed for plagiarism abroad and expelled from school. As for Senior, he's a legend at Pacific Crest Institute of Design. He won several major awards while still in school. Where do you think your company's award-winning designs came from? My senior drew them all. Victoria shook her head. Impossible. Those were clearly Tyler's works. I pulled Victoria's hand away, my face calm. Every one of my works is my signature hidden in the bottom right corner. If you don't believe me, go check. Victoria glared at me intently. Tyler isn't that kind of person. I will definitely find evidence to prove his innocence. And as for you two, I'll make sure you go to prison. Victoria had spoiled the mood. Not long after she left, the celebration banquet dispersed. Sophia drove me home. When I got out of the car, she suddenly spoke. Senior, I like you. I've liked you since I first saw you 10 years ago at the competition. Can you try to like me? The way she looked at me was as bright as the stars, just like I used to look at Victoria. I responded gently. Sophia, liking someone is a beautiful thing. It's just that I lost the ability to love a long time ago. Don't trap yourself. You deserve better. Sophia, her eyes red, opened her arms with a sense of release and smiled at me. Congratulations on your award, Senior. I hugged her back. Congratulations on your renewed brilliance, Junior. I hadn't expected that as soon as Sophia left, Victoria would rush over to demand if I had fallen for Sophia. I frowned. That's none of your business. She immediately wrapped her arms around my waist, collapsing into my embrace and sobbing. Ethan, I only just realized how good you are. That Tyler has been deceiving me all these years. Can you forgive me? Let's start over. This way, you'll be in charge of design, and he'll handle production and sales. We'll be a formidable team, and Victoria Design House will quickly get back on track. I scoffed. So that's your goal. You think my worth hasn't been completely exploited, so you want to trick me into coming back and working like a slave again. Do you still think I'm the fool who valued you more than my own life? I couldn't be bothered to say more. I pushed her away and prepared to open the door. Victoria froze, her eyes almost spitting fire. I've already given you a way out. What more do you want? If you truly ruin me, what good will that do you? Good? I laughed. Watching you like this makes me happy you. Victoria was furious and without thinking, tried to slap me. I grabbed her wrist and violently flung it away, scoffing. Didn't you say Tyler's design talent was 10,000 times greater than mine? And that his designs were enough to take Victoria Design House to the next level? Back then, when I said those designs were mine, you never believed me. You even called me a villain with ulterior motives. So, Tyler has been using my designs under his name for years, and now he wants to just move on without even an apology? Do you think that's fair? Victoria challenged. What do you want? I smiled. Unless Tyler goes live and publicly apologizes to me, admitting his plagiarism and begging for forgiveness, then this matter can be put behind us. Impossible. Victoria shrieked hysterically. Ethan, how can you be so vicious? No wonder you jinxed your parents when you were a child, and then your own daughter when you grew up. You're nothing but a jinx. Shut up. I was furious, and I slapped her directly. Victoria stared at me, covering her face in disbelief, screaming, Ethan, you dared to hit me. I will never let you get away with this. I hadn't expected her never letting me get away with it to mean a public condemnation on live stream. On camera, she brought her swollen, slapped face close to the lens, weeping as she claimed I had a violent temper and had hit her more than once. She even dug up old police records of me. Claiming I had been jailed for a few days for assault, she accused me of having an affair with Sophia, the CEO of Lumiere Jewels, and colluding with her to sabotage Victoria Design House and conspiring to intentionally frame Tyler, Victoria Design House's design director, for plagiarism. Each piece of evidence was supported by photos that seemed real but were ultimately false. The live stream spread quickly, and the few voices of doubt were drowned out. Sophia and I were vilified on social media. Large numbers of netizens swarmed our personal social media accounts, insulting and cursing us. Sophia called me, asking if she needed to issue a statement to suppress the rumors. I apologized to her for dragging her into this and promised to resolve it quickly, telling her not to worry. Sophia, however, spoke as if nothing was wrong, smiling. With Senior taking charge, I'll just wait for the good news. As the popularity grew, Victoria Design House began to recover. Victoria called me, triumphant, speaking as if granting a favor. Ethan, as long as you humble yourself and admit your wrongdoing to me, confessing that you stole Tyler's work to win awards, I'll let you off. I sneered. Even now, you're still obsessed with Tyler. Victoria, you're truly beyond saving. Tyler is my salvation. In my heart, you and Lily combined can't compare to him. Of course, a selfish person like you would never understand my feelings. Salvation? I once had that too, but my rose suddenly wilted. Well then, enjoy your triumph for a little longer, because you won't be laughing much after this. Ignoring Victoria's taunts, I hung up the phone. I decisively started a live stream. At first, large numbers of netizens flooded into the live stream, hurling insults. Then I presented the evidence. One by one, here are my chat logs with Victoria, as well as scandalous videos secretly purchased by reporters over the years. The relationship between Victoria, Tyler, and me is evident from this. Next, I pulled out my divorce certificate and circled the timestamp on the community surveillance video showing Sophia and me hugging. The picture they presented was from yesterday, but I had already divorced Victoria before then. Furthermore, I am Sophia's appointed design director, and my award was simply met with a congratulatory hug. The rumors spread are purely classic projection. At the same time, I presented surveillance footage from the doorstep of Tyler's next-door neighbor and a video taken by a passerby on Grandview Avenue. If you don't believe me, this video can confirm that Victoria indeed cheated with Tyler. The detention order is real. I did hit them, but it wasn't because of betrayal. It was because they, for their own convenience, made my 6-year-old daughter cross Grandview Avenue alone to buy contraceptives, which resulted in her being dragged under an out-of-control truck and losing her life. When viewers saw the condom box Tyler threw in the video and Victoria wrapped in a towel, the insults in the live stream were cut in half. Hearing my words, the audience instantly erupted in outrage. Oh my God! So this woman was still messing around with her lover after her daughter died. That's outrageous. This woman made her own daughter go buy those things just to be intimate with her lover. Am I the only one who thinks this woman did it on purpose? That's Grandview Avenue. Adults have to race with death to cross that road. This woman is terrifying. No wonder she's protecting that guy so much. Turns out they've been sleeping together all along. How disgusting. I then presented an audio recording. Coincidentally, when I had Lily's kid's smartwatch in my pocket while going to demand her ashes, I accidentally recorded the conversation. Tyler's line, "Your daughter's ashes were flushed down the toilet the day I got them back," and Victoria's line, "While we certainly made mistakes in Lily's death, were you and Lily faultless?" instantly sparked widespread outrage. Can a normal person say something like that? How could they do that to such a small girl? Animals. People like that deserve to die 1,000 deaths. Desecrating remains. This is pure contempt for the law. Call the police and get these two arrested immediately. My eyes turned red. Lily, look, Daddy got justice for you. This live stream completely shattered Victoria and Tyler's dreams, turning them into public pariahs. Victoria Design House completely collapsed. Ultimately, Victoria was bogged down by lawsuits, and Tyler embezzled the company's money and fled. When I heard the news, I calmly threw my hospital examination report into the trash. I hadn't expected to be stopped as soon as I left the hospital. Victoria, who had grown noticeably thinner, couldn't hide her exhaustion. The moment she saw me, her eyes welled up. She fell to her knees before me with a thud. "Husband, I was wrong. Can you forgive me? I was blind in the past, thinking Tyler was a good person, doing so many things to hurt you and Lily. I promised to turn over a new leaf. Husband, can we start over?" I stepped back. Victoria, we're already divorced, also. Are you kneeling here trying to create public pressure to force me to compromise again? Victoria frantically got up and grabbed my arm. "No, I'm not, Ethan. I truly know I was wrong. That bastard Tyler embezzled all my money and ran off. I've seen his true colors, and I will never have anything to do with him again." I looked at her. "Will you testify against him in court regarding Lily's case?" Victoria paused, her gaze flickering away. "I'm sorry, Ethan. Tyler saved my life twice, and he still has lingering headaches from it. I owe him. I can't." I burst out laughing, and as I laughed, tears streamed down my face. Victoria, those 2 times you mentioned he saved your life, were they the hotel fire at the graduation party and the kidnapping case? Victoria's eyes widened. "How did you know?" "Because I was the one who saved you." I touched my left shoulder. Beneath the thin fabric lay a gnarled, grotesque scar. "Didn't you see this here?" "Sweetheart, that year, amidst the raging flames, as burning debris and rubble fell, 18-year-old me shielded Victoria in my arms and whispered, 'Don't be afraid, sweetheart.'" Victoria's pupils contracted, and tears streamed down her face without warning. "It was you. It really was you. Why didn't you tell me it was you?" I reached for her cheek. "I told you, but back then, you furiously scolded me for getting a scar like Tyler's, saying you would only be heartbroken for him, and that I just disgusted you." She frantically explained, "No, it's not like that. Ethan, I didn't mean to say those things. I was wrong, Ethan. Do you know? That year on the rooftop, you saved a 17-year-old boy who was about to commit suicide with a single piece of candy. That boy truly loved you for a very long time. He longed for you to see him. Later, after marrying you and having a baby with you, he was truly happy. But then, one day, you told him you married him because you mistook him for someone else. He accepted all your outbursts, hoping you'd be happy, hoping one day you'd see him and your child. However, he and his child never got that chance." I looked at Victoria, whose face was already streaked with tears, and gave a cruel smile. "Victoria, you killed him with your own hands." I pushed the dazed Victoria away. In these final moments, I truly wished for no further involvement with her. In the pouring rain, Victoria's sorrowful voice pierced through the downpour from behind me. "Ethan, I was wrong. I was wrong. Ah, what have I done?" I hadn't expected that in the days that followed, a figure would consistently be kneeling outside my door, rain or shine. I couldn't be bothered with her, merely folding origami stars. My eyesight was deteriorating. Finally, after folding 100, as I placed them into a glass jar, I saw Tyler's online court proceedings. Victoria appeared in court to testify and accuse him. Tyler was sentenced for multiple offenses, watching Victoria weep with remorse after the verdict was announced. A slight smile touched my lips. After carefully getting ready, I left with the origami stars in my pocket. Victoria, who had been kneeling for a long time, tried to stand when she saw me, but her legs gave out and she fell to the ground. In the past, if I saw her get even a slight bump, I would be so anxious I'd want to carry her to get medical attention, but now I merely glanced and walked past her. "Ethan, I will prove my determination to you. I truly want to be with you again." I kept walking. "Do as you wish." "But Victoria, I will never forgive you." You can kneel there if you want, paying her no further mind. I went directly to Evergreen Memorial Park. Since there were no ashes, I gathered Lily's belongings and placed them into the urn I had personally decorated. I then purchased a burial plot and interred them here. I placed a jar of origami stars on top, then sat down beside it. I traced the name carved on the tombstone, and my eyes welled up again. Lily, Daddy and Mommy are separated now. Daddy has finally let her go. And Tyler, he's paid the price for the wrongs he committed. Also, Daddy sold all his assets and donated the money to children's charities. I hope every child in the world can grow up safe and sound. Lily, Daddy bought a plot right next to yours. From now on, Daddy will be right here protecting you. I won't go anywhere else. I'll just stay with my Lily. A white pill bottle rolled from his hand. A little girl with pigtails smiled and ran towards the tall man. 3 months later, I finally held Lily's hand. This time, Wed never let go. Victoria had thought Ethan was soft-hearted, that he would forgive her sooner or later. But when she saw the lawyer arrive to conduct an asset assessment, she completely panicked. She asked the lawyer why Ethan was doing this. The lawyer countered, "Didn't you know Mr. Ethan has late-stage brain cancer?" No. Victoria ran out frantically, and after many inquiries, she finally found Lily's grave. When she arrived, all she saw was a thin, breathless figure embracing the tombstone, a smile on his face. The entire Evergreen Memorial Park could hear Victoria's agonizing cries. From then on, Victoria went insane. She'd ask anyone she met on the street if they had seen her husband and child. Getting beaten was a common occurrence, yet she lived on, stubbornly and meagerly, as if unkillable and stubbornly resilient. One moment she'd pluck a flower from the roadside and put it in her hair, giggling, "Thank you, darling. Don't you think sweetheart is pretty?" The next, she'd be hugging a large tree by the road, crying incessantly, "Darling, I was wrong. Will you please hold me?" This continued for 6 years, her madness enduring. People around grew accustomed to this mentally unstable madwoman who never hurt anyone, until one day, near Grandview Avenue, the madwoman was clinging tightly to an equally gaunt man, pulling him towards the middle of the road. Faintly, the man's curses could be heard. "Victoria, you crazy witch! You put me in prison for 6 years, and you're still haunting me." The hatred in the madwoman's words was so thick it could almost be tasted. "Tyler, you impersonated Ethan and deceived me for 6 years. I could have been happily with Ethan, and Lily wouldn't have died. You ruined me. Go to hell. Damn it. You were blind and couldn't see it yourself, and you have the nerve to blame me. Was it me who told you to humiliate your husband back then? Was it me who told your daughter to run an errand to buy condoms? No. You insisted on asserting your authority and showing off in front of me, Victoria. You're the one who truly deserves to die." The woman let out a furious roar and clung tightly to him. "Then let's die together." A truck didn't have time to brake. After a horrific scream, there were 2 mangled heaps on the ground. As they waited for the relevant authorities to handle the scene, a pack of stray dogs appeared out of nowhere. They each snatched a piece and ran off. As a result, the stray dogs, forced to stop, dropped the mangled flesh directly into an uncovered storm drain. A foul-smelling yellow fluid splattered out.